That's a question we're asked a lot. Why are we putting the fifth graders next to kids that possibly are 2 years older than them, and moving them into the building? There's there is a lot of reasons, but there's two special reasons that I'd like to mention now. One of them is just relationships with students. Staff-to-staff relationships, staff-to-administration relationships are important, as well as a teacher and student relationship. But one of maybe the most important relationships we can have is a student-to-student relationship. Those are the kids that they're around each other without people around them on the bus, out downtown in Fairfield or in the hallways. What we're looking at is being able to develop a mentor program with our fifth graders and our seventh graders. We want to be able to control those situations, have those kids get to know each other when we're around as far as teachers. One of the things we're looking at is developing a buddy reading program. We would bring seventh graders into the classroom and give them an opportunity to read with those fifth graders and see each other on an academic level. Then when they do see each other out in the non-academic setting, the hallways, downtown, they know each other, they're not as nervous. They've developed that relationship and understanding that they're not crazy, they're not different. They're all just students that come to the same building. They're just a little bit different age-wise. Another reason why we're looking at doing that is a culture thing that currently exists in the building. With our current sixth graders that are going to be coming in, our fifth graders and sixth graders are going to be brand new. Everybody's going to be new to the building. Sixth graders who come into the building now, all they have to do is enter the front doors, come down the hallway and take a right. It's very simple. They're close to the office, they're close to the counselors, they're close to the nurse. And that's a comforting feeling for those sixth graders that are new to the building. Asking us to flip-flop that and take that security blanket away from those sixth graders is a little concerning. So with our current setup, our sixth grade and fifth grade will be the ones closest to the counselors in the office and the nurse, and our seventh and eighth graders, our older kids, by position, will be farther away in the building. So that way, as the kids are younger, hopefully we can develop relationships, cultivate those relationships and that culture in the building. As the kids get older, we can gradually move them away to more freedom. We are going to have a different schedule in which the fifth graders will follow. It's going to be more of an elementary schedule with recesses and things involved. Things that we're looking at, again, we want to monitor those times or those opportunities when the kids will be mingling. One of those things will occur at lunch. We're going to have the fifth and sixth graders eat lunch together. They'll get a chance to see each other the time that they're in that lunchroom on a daily basis. They'll be in there together. Other times they'll be able to work together as the mentoring program that we already mentioned. Hopefully we'll get the fifth and seventh graders a chance to be together during times in the academic setting. Other things that we're looking at doing with our parent committee is establishing parent movie nights and popcorn nights where we'd invite the fifth and sixth grade families and students in to have popcorn and movie and possibly bingo. Another thing we're looking at is slowly possibly bringing the idea of a fifth and sixth grade dance maybe once or twice a year so the kids can start understanding what's expected at a dance. Because we have more for our older kids, and if we could maybe give a possibility or two during the school year, let the fifth graders understand what's expected of them. So when they become a sixth grader, seventh grader, eighth grader, it's an easy transition for them.
What are they going to use?
Recess is a concern. With kids that age, they obviously are used to being active, and they need to be active. A fifth grader's not quite a sixth grader's not quite a seventh grader, and that's just the way it is. We are going to have a different bell schedule that the fifth graders will follow. It's going to be an elementary schedule. They'll have a homeroom type teacher who they'll be in that classroom most of the day. Recess will occur very similar to the way it did in the other buildings, in the other elementary buildings. We'll have a morning recess, we'll have an afternoon recess, and we'll have a recess following lunch. The exception would be the days that those kids have PE, they'll have two recesses just like they do at the other elementary buildings. Recess, as far as the nice thing about middle school is we have plenty of room. We've got room on the northeast corner of the building that kind of separates that area from the rest of the area of the football fields and the baseball fields. There's an open wide field that our sixth grade currently use for kickball on activity day once a week. So it's big enough to hold as many kids as we need it to. As far as equipment, we've done a survey of our fifth and sixth grade, our current fourth and fifth grade students. We want their input and what they want to see as far as equipment. We've also talked to the parent group as far as equipment. We're not going to be able to maybe do everything we'd love to do this first year, but we want to get the bare necessities and what the kids would like to see during recess time. before and after school is obviously a large concern of parents because the kids aren't quite in school yet, or they're just out of school and they're not quite in the parents' control. So that's always a concern. We've got a schedule set up right now. The students will enter the building, the 5th grade students will enter the building through a different door. We have set up, we're looking at a schedule where we'll be able to get these kids into the building. They can go to possibly a computer lab, go to a room inside where it's an activities or a specials room, or they can have one-on-one time with a teacher if it's established ahead of time. We also have a situation we'll bring some of those kids in, and an associate will take them to breakfast. So between those 3 or 4 different opportunities in the morning, we have a situation where the 5th graders will be on their own, but yet we'll get their needs taken care of, whether it be computer use, teachers, getting inside into a specials room, or going to eat breakfast. After school, we're trying to stagger the release times. We're trying to set it up so the kids still get the same amount of instructional time as a 5th grader, but we can maybe cycle the 5th grade buses and the 5th grade parents picking up their students prior to our buses and our parents for the 6th and 7th and 8th grade students coming. So we're trying to set them up 5 to 10 minutes prior leaving before the rest of our students do. So it's not as much of a traffic jam as it could be out here in the front of the middle school. Field trips, are something that we love to do here at the middle school. We take the kids to Iowa City, to the malls. We take them to the Burlington Bees games. But, having those experiences is very important for a student, especially a 5th grade student who's still young and experiencing a lot of things in our state of Iowa. For sure, we're looking at doing fundraising. I already mentioned the bingo, popcorn, movie night for families, a free will type donation, possibly dances for 5th and 6th grade kids only. And those would be used for fundraising to be able to send these kids on the trips to the Des Moines, to the Capitol, to be able for those kids to pay for those situations. We want those kids to have the same experiences they would have had, whether it be at the middle school or in the elementary school.